Well, exactly. You see, the battery EV is a long-term transition, whereas the Japanese automakers, you see, put it this way, in Asia, the EV transition is not the binary between the ICE and battery EVs. There's always something else, and hybrid is booming globally. It's just that the Japanese companies, for them, the battery EVs technology is premature. There is no brand image for the battery EVs. So they defer this battery EV development for the benefit of the hybrid. And this strategy, it works.
It works, and it is also cheaper than pure EV vehicles, so that's a big selling point. The other thing is, with EVs, for a lot of folks, what puts them off is not just the high price relative to ICE cars, but it's also the fact that charging stations and networks where they live in certain countries are not built out yet, right? But with hybrids, and correct me if I'm wrong, most of the hybrid offerings, cars being sold right now, combine an electric motor with an ICE engine, internal combustion engine, which recharges the electric motor battery. You don't need a charging station network per se, yes?
Well, see, exactly. You see, what happened in the market, well, what we learned in the market in 2023 is that this initial adapter of the battery EVs, you know, they bought the battery EV for the new technology, the fun of the new technology. It's just that the general consumer didn't follow to this trend because of exactly what you said. There is a concern about the range or driving distance, the lack of infrastructures, and expensive electricity in some countries. So hybrid has a sweet spot for the environment conscious consumers. So this transition is just long-term trend, switching from the ICE to hybrid, and ultimately, in the long term, it's switching from the hybrid to the battery EVs.
So if hybrids are transitional and the end game endpoint for Japanese automakers and for global automakers is still pure EVs, I'm wondering, I mean, it's a race to the bottom, affordability, trying to make the things cheap enough to gain traction with consumers. That's the key thing. And I want to ask you whether Japan and Japanese automakers may have a lead in this regard as well. And what I mean by this is earlier, late last year, I spent a significant amount of time up in Japan, including with Nissan. And what I noticed was the best-selling pure EV in Japan, at least last year, 2023, was a Nissan, and it was a K car, the Sakura, right? It's small, it's affordable, it's EV. Is that the future for EVs, do you think? Not just for Nissan?
That's a very good point. It comes back to one of your earlier remarks. You see, right now the battery EV tend to be more like a higher end, large, expensive vehicles in the developed market. But when you see the long term, when you also see like a geographic diversification of Japanese automakers, see their target, their core market include emerging market. You see, this expensive, luxurious battery EV is not really the mainstream car in these markets. See, like Sakura, something affordable, something for the mass manufacturing. That's for the future of the emerging market. That's where the Japanese company is targeting at.